first time this fall season, we have an arena final. We're coming to you from the Marcel Athletic Complex on the Siena campus in Loudonville, New York, near Albany. It's the championship round of the Empire State Open, the final tour stop before next week's Tournament of Champions in Connecticut. Now let's meet our 5 finalists. First, from Newark, New York, about 2 hours from here. He finished third last week in Long Island with 5 career titles. Doug Kent. Making his second TV appearance in 3 weeks, looking for his 4th career victory and a berth in next week's Tournament of Champions. From Bolingbrook, Illinois, near Chicago, Steve Jaros. From Dallas, Texas, he is in first place on the PBA World Rankings list, making his 4th TV appearance this season, looking for his 4th career win, Chris Barnes. He is first to the all-time earnings list, second on the career win list, and a 5-time PBA Player of the Year from Ocala, Florida, Walter Ray Williams Jr. And from Flushing, New York, he has 2 career titles, ranked 7th in the PBA World Rankings, Tommy Delutz Jr. Those are the 5 finalists for the 2002 Empire State Open here in the championship round.
Here's our matchups. World Championship defender titleist Doug Kent makes his 2nd straight TV show. Has the wild card this week against Steve Jaros. In a battle of heavyweights, it's Chris Barnes taking on Walter Ray Williams Jr. And Tommy Delutz Jr. awaits the winner in the semifinals.
Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, our entire ESPN PBA crew. Glad to be here for our first arena show. Doug Kent, as we saw moments ago, Randy, a big Buffalo Bills fan. Hoping his team can make the playoffs and hoping he can get another victory. We've got great new camera angles for you here. A lot more capabilities with the big building on the Siena campus. The arena final underway in Albany. Little double wood.
Slow down, baby. Slow down.
And kind of hard to do when there's this much adrenaline, this much excitement in this venue. Get up there, Doug gets just a little bit too fast. Too much ball speed. The ball doesn't read the lane, doesn't hook into the pocket. And he struggled a little bit with spares in this tournament. You want to throw a hook ball at this spare because you got to cover the back pin, the 8-pin.
Trying to pick up the 2-8. Does so nicely. And a mark for Doug Kent. Little sigh of relief here at Siena College today. Brings up Steve Jaros, 2nd TV show of the American Tour swing, in search of his 4th title. Also saw him in Philadelphia a couple weeks ago on TV. Comes in a little high, gets a break, almost a Brooklyn strike. That's horrible. He knows it.
Well, this ball never gets far enough right. It was almost like a straight beeline right at the head pin. When he has some hook on it, it's going to cross over, but he gets a really nice break, tripping the 6-10 out. And he looked a little off last night in the match against Pete Weber. You see, he beat Pete Weber 3-1, but he was a little suspect coming down the stretch. Got a couple nice breaks against Pete as well.
Second ball for him. Much more effective on lane 4. We have 4 TV lanes set up here.
Got away with one.
Synthetic surface. It's much different than the wood approach and wood surface they played on at the Bowlers Club in Latham, about a 10-minute drive from here, all the way through the round of 8. But the arena finals, much different. It's going to take some time for the players to adjust. Back to Doug Kent. Pocket.
Real strikes, baby. This crossover crap.
Really? Doug, not real happy about the double, and Jaros taking advantage of that, Brooklyn. He says, hey, that's the way they're supposed to go down.
Real strikes, damn it.
Intense. Wild card production. This week, Kent had the fewest match play losses. That's why he's in the final 5 despite losing. Round of 8 match to Chris Barnes last night. 3-1, he lost that one. Shreds the rack. He liked it all the way from the release.
In between the third and fourth arrow, a little bit closer to the third arrow on that ball. Just he feathered that one nicely. Players can tell as soon as it leaves their hand. This is a game of feel.
Head-to-head numbers with Doug Kent. Trying to improve on that is Steve Jaros, who has the most on the line today. That finds the pocket too. He needs a victory today in Albany to get himself to next week's Tournament of Champions. Right now he's on the outside looking in. His last chance comes here.
And the two guys are playing lanes a lot different. Even though they're both playing the deep inside line, Steve Jaros is going a lot straighter. He's not leaking the ball as far to the right as Doug Kent is. Steve's hands more up the back to control the sideways movement of his bowling ball in the back part of the lane.
And you saw longtime star Mike Albee right on the bubble. Jaros gets a win. As he's flush in the pocket there, Albee is out of the TLC next week, and Steve is in. With $100,000 on the line, a major championship, double tour points next week.
Doug was closer to the third arrow. Steve Jaros is a little bit left of the fourth arrow. Remember, the head pin, the pocket area is about the 18th, 17th board. So when you're playing that far left, you've got to have the ball going to the right. Otherwise, the ball will never get to the 1-3 pocket.
Good numbers for Doug Kent in arena play, including one championship. Looking for a triple. Down 10 with a strike. It's a 10-pin.
Well, we talk about the ringing 10s week in and week out. That ball looked just as good as the last two strikes Doug threw. 6-pin goes around the 10-pin instead of taking it out. He goes cross lane to a plastic ball to reduce friction. All he wants to do is throw it on a straight line.
Pick up his mark. Gets the 10-pin. An amazing story with Doug Kent, who a couple weeks ago in the tournament you won Randy in Philadelphia took the week off. Needed time to regroup. Was not bowling well. Went to his home in Newark, New York, Wayne County, about halfway between Rochester and Syracuse, New York, a couple hours from here. Put himself on video. He took 1 or 2 arm swings and realized what was wrong.
You know, I asked him last week, what was the one thing that you learned the most from bowling on TV? He said going home and watching the show and watching his swing on TV.
Really hurried back and came in light that time. Didn't catch the oil he wanted to head it back into the pocket.
This ball just gets too far to the right, and there is no friction outside there. A lot of oil outside. That's why all the players played in this week. This is the same pattern that we bowled on the wood surface. Anyway, getting back to what he told me, he said he really liked what he saw on TV. It just made a lot of sense to him. He saw it. Not only does it feel good, but it looks good, and that equaled a lot of confidence for him going into this week.
Another great vantage point. Our director Scott Katz bringing you the new camera angles we've got here, arena setting, and he's able to get the wiggling 4. Gets a mark, avoids what would have been a deadly open the way Jaros has started his match.
Well, normally for that spare, you want to get the ball a little bit further left of that.
Bonus.
0-4 in arena finals to date. Would like to change that. Has a 4-bagger to start. A strike here. He's got a 35-pin lead. 10-pin.
This ball here is a little bit further out on the lane. And what happens is the more loft that you put on a bowling ball, the less time it has to hook. Can't create friction if it's not on the ground. That ball came in just a little bit late, leaving the weak 10.
That was interesting.
Steve had hoped his wife June might be able to make it from Chicagoland. She came first thing a couple weeks ago in the tournament you won in Philadelphia. The morning of the finals, able to get a direct flight, but a little too expensive to get the ride into Albany today, so she's watching back home with the twins, Evan and Hannah, rooting on Steve. Uh-oh. 10-pin wiggle, still wiggling.
Wow.
Wow, right.
Oh, Well, he almost had the 7-10 split staring at him. This ball gets in the swish zone. Something hits the 7-pin. 10 almost falls. So it went 8, 9, almost 10.
3 bowlers, since the new format was implemented last September, have won the title as a semifinalist against the wild card, as Jaros is in this match. Weber, Parker Bone. That was in Kirkland, Washington last year. Steve Jaros needs a win for the TOC.
Bob Burns, Pro Bowler, average 213. He shoe the Dexter SST6. Frank Rogers, League Bowler, average 180. He shoe Dexter Turbo. Clint Fisher, Casual Bowler, average 145. He shoe the Dexter Rocky 2. Jan Martell, Family Bowler, her average 160. Her shoe the Dexter Tiffany. Marcy Randall, Cosmic Bowler, average, who's counting? Her shoe Dexter Starlight. Dexter, the #1 bowling shoe in the world, the right shoe for you.
If anyone's earned his Miller time tonight, it's the man in the red suit. But let's not jump the gun. He's got to navigate a vehicle. Sorry, Père Noël. It's cow juice for you. As for you, well, bring on the sugar plum fairies.
Interest on our cards used to be 21 to 23%.
They were impossible to pay down.
I couldn't keep up with my payments anymore. Cambridge lowered my monthly payments so that I'm able to manage it.
Cambridge Credit Counseling is a non-profit service. They'll work with you and your creditors to reduce your monthly payments.
Before Cambridge, it would have taken me 15 to 20 years to get out of debt. With Cambridge, I'll be debt-free in 4.5 to 5 years.
Give Cambridge Credit Counseling a call. Find out how good it feels to be debt-free.
So if I ran an online trading company, here's the way it would work. You'd get your information, real-time data, streaming news, all that stuff. You'd make your trade, you pay the fee, the standard fee. No order handling fees or share limitations. Now, is that naive? I don't think so.
Are you getting your share of straightforward pricing? At Ameritrade, every online equity trade is $10.99, including stop and limit orders. No handling fees, no share limits, no gimmicks. Ameritrade. What's your share? Open an account today at Ameritrade.com and get 25 commission-free internet equity trades.
Today's exclusive live coverage of the PBA Empire State Open is brought to you by Dexter, the #1 bowling shoe in the world. What's your size? By Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly, this is the High Life. And by Cambridge Credit Counseling. Find out how good it feels to be debt-free. The Empire State Open was held in Albany, New York from 1959 to 63, but the PBA didn't return until 99, where they went to the Bowlers Club in Latham, where they held all the competition until the arena final. Dave Ryan and Randy Peterson. How difficult, Randy, is the adjustment from the wood approaches and the wood lanes to synthetic, the via surface here today in Albany?
Well, I think first and foremost, you got to get by the approach issue. You know, wood approaches and synthetic approaches a lot of times play completely different. So you got to get from start to finish consistently. After that, it's the same oil pattern, but synthetics is a lot smoother. The lanes are going to play a little bit different. I think they're actually going to be a little bit better and a little more high scores today.
So are oil pattern B, same as in Memphis a few weeks back?
Yes, same as Memphis a few weeks back. Oil pattern B. What happened with oil pattern B is that you cannot play the outside part of the lane. The outside part of the lane is out of bounds, and what you're going to see the players do is they're all going to play inside. And the more the lanes break down, the further left the players are going to move. Remember, they look for friction to get that ball to change direction down the lane.
For more on the oil patterns, log on. PBA.com. You can also get tickets for the arena finals, which we have at the Mohegan Sun, Uncasville, Connecticut next week, the Tournament of Champions. Many fans logging on this week to buy tickets for the Siena College event. Going on right now. It's Doug Kent wild card match. 10 in the pit for him. Doug's got a lot of support here today. Just about 2-hour drive from Newark, New York, where he owns a 36-lane bowling center. On lane 3 here, had to hurry back. Does in time. His girlfriend, Chrissy Beamish, is here. Mom and Dad, Mike and Nancy. Nephew, Kent Danks, his first ever tournament in person, so he's got a lot of support.
Nice steady head. Watch this reaction.
Jaros in the numbers. Very good average. 2 bottom stats in match play only. From the round of 32 best of 7 to now.
I think one of the most interesting things that I've noticed this year on the tour is that the players are allowed to play the lanes from a lot of different angles. You know, last week we saw Dave Traber and Norm Duke firing it from out. Chris Barnes, we see him playing in, playing out, playing all over the lane. And right now you see Steve Jaros and Doug Kent playing 2 completely different lines.
Showing 2 for the ESPN in sync. And the 2-8.
Well, again, that ball doesn't see the friction, doesn't read the friction, so it doesn't hook into the pocket. Same spare that Doug Kent left on that same lane in the first frame.
Much like Norm Duke and his passion for the Tournament of Champions. One of the majors on the PBA Tour. Last week, he was able to do that. See the multi-pin conversions. Near perfect. Numbers to it nicely there. Steve Jaros, Randy, had that same sort of passion in speaking with him last night about the TOC, how crucial it was for him to make it.
Yeah, you know, he kind of had the same vision that Norm Duke had. He told his wife as he was driving to this tournament, he says, you know, I've got to win this week.
Jaros' last title, February 13th of '99, Chattanooga, Tennessee. So he's on the outside looking in. The last 26 PBA Tour winners, along with 3 regional champs, 3 senior champions to make the exclusive field. Doug Kent loves it.
That's 17th board, getting that hand to flip around the side of it to make the ball change direction harder down the lane. Ball was dead flush.
Looking for a 4-bagger. Strike here, he's down 7. Excuse me, up 7 pins. By 7.
And that's a huge strike in the 9th frame because no matter what Steve Jaros does, he cannot shut out Doug Kent. Doug Kent can strike out in the 10th frame for 255. The best Steve Jaros can do, 248.
Back to Jaros. Here's for a spare. Flush in the pocket again on lane 4. A lot of points on the line. Everyone trying to catch Chris Barnes. 25,000 points go to the champion of this event. It's double next week at the TOC. One of the majors. That's in Uncasville, Connecticut. Mohegan Sun Arena Bowling. 10,000 fans can fit in. And we're expecting a big crowd, as we have here today in suburban Albany. Great support for the PBA.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Well, you know, he had a chance to really put the pressure on Doug Kent. That ball cuts right through the heart. 4-6-7.
Try to increase the split conversion rate. Won't be easy.
Right where I wanted to.
And leaves 2. Oh. Tough break and a tough way to finish up there for Jaros.
Doug Kent's going to win sitting on the bench. He just has to show up.
Exactly where I wanted to throw it.
The quest will end for Steve Jaros, trying to get himself to the TOC. He will be frozen out of the event next week. Doug Kent won the World Championship in Toledo last year. He's in. As are the other bowlers on the show today. 60 feet to success for Kent.
And Mike Albee, we'll see you next week at the TSC, partner. Mike Albee does not get eliminated. And Doug Kent, after a shaky start, you know, you got the 6 count where he missed the head pin in the 5th frame. Together 5 in a row. And a lot of momentum going into the semifinal match against Tommy Delutz.
Bowled in the wild card match last week as well. 10 more in the pit for him there. He defeated Jason Hurd 224-201. The loss to eventual champion Norm Duke in the semis 255-245. That was last weekend. He bowled so well in the semis. Now he's got another crack at the semifinals this week as well. Tommy Delutz Jr. will be next up for Doug Kent. Wiggling 10. Home batter for Doug Kent from Newark, New York. Seeking his 6th career title. He'll take on Tommy Delutz Jr. in the semifinals. And next up, we have a great match. 2 heavyweights go head-to-head. Chris Barnes, the points leader. Walter Ray Williams Jr. with 35 career titles.
Body pain? Oh, back pain? Now relief is just a shuffle away. Introducing new Bare Extra Strength Back and Body. It soothes aching muscles and sore backs with the trusted strength of Bare aspirin to work effectively at the site of pain. Plus, a special pain relief enhancer. Nothing works better than Bare Back and Body. Not Advil, not Tylenol. Get moving again, pain-free. New Bare Back and Body.
You definitely better be on top of your game.
It's up to you to succeed or fail.
Right there!
If you don't respect me, I'm going to beat you. Put up or shut up.
One more!
There's no room for mistake.
May your travels bring you serenity, satisfaction.
Like when you book ahead, ask for the daylight savings rate and save 25% on your days in room. It's like getting the bathroom free. All you need is the
inspiration to book now.
Nervous about foot odor and wetness? Get Odor Eaters insoles and kick the problem. Odor Eaters gives lasting comfort and durability as it kicks out heavy-duty odor and sweat.
Now put Odor Eaters and kick foot odor and wetness out.
For half an hour, Hawk repeatedly attempts the move, sweating through the t-shirt, his face turning crimson. Numerous times he bails out early, laughing as he scampers up the ramp. When he finally nails the move twice, he holds his hands out to the side, as if accepting praise from an unseen audience. But there is no crowd, just one skater on a desolate piece of real estate.
Welcome back. Our first arena finals of the fall swing continues in the capital region of New York State. The NFL also continues its push towards the playoffs tonight. The Minnesota Vikings with Randy Moss and company travel to
the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field
against rival Green Bay. MVP candidate Brett Favre and the Packers look for redemption tonight at 8:30 Eastern. Favre loves the frozen tundra. In his career, he's an incredible 33-0 when the temperature is below 34 degrees. It's going to be cold there tonight. Cold weather is not a problem I have living in Florida. Let's go down to the lanes with Dave Ryan and another Floridian.
All right, Randy, thanks. Walter Ray Williams Jr., the Hall of Famer. Fans are ready here. Tell me about the adjustment from the Latham Bowling Center to here. How difficult has it been for you, do you think, in warm-up? What do you anticipate now that we're on synthetic surfaces?
Well, the lanes seem to be playing fairly similar, I mean, as far as scoring pace. I think the scores will be pretty high today. Scores are pretty decent at first match. I expect the scores to be good for this match. Chris might have a little trouble, but I think I'll do all right.
You made the most appearances ever in arena play. This is number 12. How do you respond to it today? Do you like it?
I enjoy it. The energy the crowd gives us, kind of try to feed off of that. And the first time I was in it was the most fun I ever had losing, but I'm not planning to lose today.
Best of luck to you. Walter Ray Williams Jr., Chris Barnes, first head-to-head matchup, Randy, on TV this year.
Yeah, this is going to be a great one. All the experience and wins of Walter Ray Williams Jr., even though Chris Barnes only has 3 titles, lots of TV appearances under his belt. And that's probably the most confident I've ever heard Walter Ray prior to the start of a match on television. That ball is absolutely perfect in the pocket, leaving the stone 8.
Spare ball for Walter Ray. It is too high, 5th TV appearance of the year. He's got 1 championship in Detroit.
Well, watch the ball. It's going to get to the 5-pin and drive it straight back. That's why you leave solid 8s in bowling. Normally the 5-pin would go a little bit to the left and take out the 8.
4th time on TV this year, Chris Barnes. Hancock, Wichita, Philly, now Albany, and gets a trip on the 4 to begin his day.
You know, we talk about no defense in our sport. There isn't, and here's why. This ball's going to drift a little bit high. Barnes gets the great break of tripping the 4-pin. Walter Ray's ball was actually a better shot. The way it entered the pocket, he gets 9. Chris Barnes is using what we call a light load proactive ball, which reads less oil at the break point. This gives him that nice little straight trajectory and just a tame back end reaction. Look out!
Messenger somehow does not knock over the 10. How did it stay up?
The reason why it stays up is because the neck of the pin hits the 10-pin instead of the body. Watch this. Here it comes. That's the head pin. And then the head of that pin, not enough weight, not enough force to knock the 10 down.
Has not won since more than a year ago. Hendersonville, Tennessee, outside Nashville. We saw his stats a few moments ago with his 3 career titles. Walter Ray with a win outside Detroit this year, 35th all-time. He's the 2nd match wins this week for him. The lefty Jason Couch went down last night at the Bowlers Club in Latham. Around the arena surfaces now, things much different, and a split.
Got a little more hook on lane 4 than you do on the left lane. Walter Ray Williams Jr. doesn't make very many bad shots. This one, I think, fooled him. That ball was left, hooked high.
Okay.
Second all-time in arena earnings, hoping for a kick, and instead just gets 1 of the 3. So an open frame for Walter Ray.
When I talked to Walter Ray last night, I asked him, I said, where have you been the last couple of weeks? And his response was pretty clear and pretty simple. No breaks.
It's after making the TV finals 3 weeks in a row. Gets help with a 7-pin there. Did not fare well at all at the Pepsi Open in Philly. 41st place, 39th at the Cambridge Credit Classic last week on Long Island. Paige Pennington, as usual, right by Walter Ray's side in their brand new motorhome, which is having some trouble, we understand.
Well, the last 2 years in a row here in Albany, it's been so cold that the plumbing's freezing up in the motorhomes.
That's our weekly Walter Ray Page motorhome update.
See, but our guys are tough, man. Anybody can go and camp out where the weather's like 75 degrees and sunny. We do it when it's like 8 below outside. Well, take a look at this. The 6-pin goes to the sidewall and does what we want it to do. That's the 10.5.
Victories this week include the Ranovate last night in Latham over Doug Kent, who has won his wild card match already, with Steve Jaros, Kent, and Tommy Delutz Jr. next in the semis. This, though, a battle of the Titans. I mean, 2 big-time stars on the PBA Tour, head-to-head. A real treat for us to have them on TV together for the first time this year. They did bowl head-to-head in Connecticut last year, Walter Ray tells me. Coming to you from Siena College, Loudonville, New York, just outside Albany, the PBA Empire State Open. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, our entire ESPN PBA crew with you. Live coverage of the PBA continues. Spare ball. Perfect for Chris Barnes. Come on. Chris really likes the arena setting. Very good. High school basketball player in the state of Kansas. A Division II NAIA type prospect, and said the arena setting reminds him of playing big-time state championship games at Kansas. High school hoops. Big-time shot, Walter Ray.
If you ever want to try something to improve your game, try this. I want you to watch Walter Ray's backswing. Freeze it right there, guys. This swing comes out, and then it's going to realign itself and tuck back up underneath his shoulder. That's how he gets the ball tight to his ankle, and that's how his hand gets into such a wonderful position at release.
Looking for a triple and a 15-pin lead. Got it.
He made the adjustment on lane 4, Rhino. Caught a double. He's locked in on lane 3.
Make it 5 pins, pardon me. That's the lead now for Walter Ray. Barnes. Breaker 4.
2 trip 4s on that right lane.
Season breakdown for each. 9 combined TV appearances. They have just been outstanding. Very consistent. Chris Barnes, the only bowler on tour, 11 for 11 to make match play each week. The 2 Japan events, all 9 on the USA side. That is consistency.
Oh!
No trip there on the 4.
Well, that should have disintegrated the rack.
Come on.
That was just a great shot and just a bad break. Every ball that he's thrown has hit the pocket. That's why he's the point leader out on our tour, with Walter Ray being number 2.
Trying to increase his percentage on the single pin conversion. He does just that. 4th TV appearance of the year for Barnes in search of his first title of this new season. Walter Ray's got 1 championship already at Taylor, Michigan, the site of the World Championships in March. Right now, it's Albany, New York, semifinals.
There's nothing like the freedom of the open road on a motorcycle. Some would say it's part of our culture, the American dream.
At Harley-Davidson of Danbury, our philosophy is built around freedom forged in iron. And we want to make your dreams come true. From Harley-Davidson and Buell motorcycles that provide the thrill of a lifetime to expert service, parts, accessories, and riding gear, we provide an incomparable experience. Come in today and see what freedom feels like.
Harley-Davidson of Danbury. The legend rolls on.
You know, I heard good things from other people about them, and I went down probably about 2.5 years ago and met Bob and Paul, and I thought it was they sounded really professional, knew what they're doing, so we tried a couple small things on my truck. I was really happy with everything they did, so we just kept going with it, and they're probably about the best around I've seen, and you know, it's a lot of years I've been building trucks and cars, and really professional guys, and they do a great job.
Events for the Empire State Open since it returned to the Capital Region area in '99, but the first time held with arena finals, run with the Bowlers Club in Latham, New York. Great hosts they were this week for us. Our days in on the road, TOC at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville is next week. You can log on to PBA.com to get your tickets now. The middle leg of 3 straight arena finals. We'll have one in January as well in Washington State to start off the winter schedule. PBA schedule as well for the regionals in Ohio, Texas, and Nevada. Looking for a four-bagger is Walter Ray. Strike here, and in fact, it'll be a 15-pin lead. Troublesome lane 4.
Something wrong with you?
Wow. Thanks. Believe that. You're kidding me.
Gotta be a fan, we believe, who must have said something, some kind of noise as he released the ball, and you could see how upset he was. And an open frame, unfortunately, for Walter Ray.
Watch how soon he pulls out of the shot. Either the fan said something or stands up. And there's, oh, it was a flash picture. Unbelievable. And there is no interference rule.
Have to deal with it. Off lane 3, and a solid 10.
I mean, it's just devastating to your mental psyche. You have somebody do that, and then you get the worst break in the world, leaving a split after that. Kind of hard to get regrouped.
Starting with some round of 16 matches. Bottom of your screen. Other PBA bowlers in action this week. How they fared. Trying to get to the show, but not successful. Tony Reyes had a great run.
Yeah, Tony Reyes has had a real nice couple of weeks, last 2 or 3. He's bowling very, very well. He needs to get a couple of breaks to get over that hump and make it to our telecast again.
Back to Chris Barnes. Can he take advantage? Shreds the rack on lane 4, which has been troublesome for the bowlers today in this arena setting. And you can see Walter Ray very upset behind Chris, trying to regroup.
Chris Barnes there just took a big giant step to the right and threw the ball really straight at the 1-3 pocket. 10-pin lead, can increase it to 20 with a strike here. 8th frame. See if he makes the same move on the left lane.
As consistent as he's been, and a real superstar of the tour this year. Still no victories on tour for Chris. And he's told us week in and week out, just that one step, that's all I need to feel great about his game. Takes a nice straight line at the pocket there.
You know, this is what makes him so great, is he was hitting the pocket. He didn't like the way the ball was entering, so he just moved about 8 boards right, kept his hand straight up the back some of that hit out. Now he's just piping it on a straight line.
Open frames in 2 and number 8 for Walter Ray. Gets the big cheer for the fans off that strike.
Yeah, the fan down there with the flash camera all but cost Walter Ray this match. I mean, it's just, it's stupid is what it is.
Focus for Barnes. Good strike, Walter Ray. Working on a max of 220 with a double error.
Watch this now. You're going to see this flash right there.
Yep.
I mean, that's right in the downswing. There's absolutely nothing Walter Ray can do. He can't stop. He can't pull back. He's got 15 pounds falling from the top of his swing.
Great job by our crew to get a good look at that. Barnes looking for a triple and a 20-pin lead.
Wow.
Gets the 7th.
This ball's a little left to target. It just lays there. Part of the reason it didn't move left is because its roll is going dead end over end. The ball always tries to travel in direction of rotation. This first strike and 6 pins, he'll shut out Walter Ray. Anything less, Walter Ray Williams Jr. can strike out in the 10th and still win this match.
Trying to overtake Walter Ray for the tour money list top spot. Already the tour leader in points. Strike and 6 for the win. There's the strike.
Yes, sir. What a huge, gutsy move. by Chris Barnes.
It's close. Yeah! Yes, sir!
Guy's phenomenal. I mean, just moves. He not only does he have great physical ability, but he's got the great mental game to go with it. Obviously using a weaker ball, keeping his hand underneath it, piping it right between second and third arrow.
Needed 6, gets all 10 in the pit. Chris Barnes will bowl in the championship match. He is the winner, looking for his first tour title of this fall swing.
Boy, and what if Walter Ray would have struck in the 6th frame?
Tommy Delutz Jr. in the other semifinal.
Thank you. That's good. Sorry,
Not your fault. Nice gesture there from Barnes, apologizing for the
I can
fans'
take a
behavior. And at least Walter Ray can have a little fun with it. Take your pictures now, the match is over, but believe me, that's something we're going to hear about for quite some time with one of the big superstars of the PBA Tour. Very costly move by the fan that may in fact have cost him the tournament. We'll never know. 10 pin.
I mean, it cost him the match. Strikes there, he could have shot, even if he goes 9 spare in the 7th frame, he shoots 240.
5th TV show of the year. Will not yield his 2nd victory of this season, but we will see him next week at the Mohegan Sun Arena. And a Tournament of Champions. Chris Barnes is there as well, looking for his first tour win of this season. He'll take on the winner of Doug Kent, Tommy Delutz Jr. Barnes, a little different strategy. A straight line to the pocket at times. Very effective for him. He's off to the final.
Banquet presents Do the Math.
Don't forget, quiz tomorrow. I may ask my students to find the value of X, but at the end of the day, when it's time to feed my family, I'm looking for value of a different kind. And Banquet always comes through. Take their original chicken patties. Now there's an extra patty in every box. That's 20% more of that delicious Banquet chicken for the same great Banquet price as before. And the kids love them. Thanks, Mom. Hey, you do the math.
For good food at a great value, you can always bank on Banquet.
Interest on our cards used to be 21 to 23%.
They were impossible to pay down. I couldn't keep up with my payments anymore. Cambridge lowered my monthly payments so that I'm able to manage it.
Cambridge Credit Counseling is a non-profit service that work with you and your creditors to reduce your monthly payments.
Before Cambridge, it would have taken me 15 to 20 years to get out of debt. With Cambridge, I'll be debt-free in 4.5 to 5 years.
Give Cambridge Credit Counseling a call. Find out how good it feels to be debt-free.
Napa presents The Master Technician.
Hi, Sam Amolo here. You know, sometimes just getting a grip on a fastener can be a real problem.
Tell me about it.
Now Napa has the solution. Hey, sport, you, check this out. Try the latest from Gear Wrench. It's the original ratcheting combination wrench, and now
it flexes.
Bingo, all the way up to 90 degrees. So not only can you reach fasteners you couldn't reach before, but with Gear Wrench, your grip won't slip. Under the hood or around the house, Napa's new 57-piece Flex Gear Wrench tool set has everything you need to get tough jobs done fast and done right the first time. And Gear Wrench can turn a fastener with as little as 5 degrees of movement. A standard wrench needs 6 times more space. The difference is Gear Force technology, and only Gear Wrench has it.
Don't forget, it flexes. The 57-piece Flex Gear Wrench tool set, available exclusively at participating Napa Auto Parts stores and at Napa Online for just $59.99. And for a limited time, save $10 with our mail-in rebate.
Napa, we're the pro shop. Who said there's nothing good on TV?
Today's exclusive live coverage of the PBA Empire State Open is brought to you by Odor Eaters. Put Odor Eaters in, kick foot odor and wetness out. By Cambridge Credit Counseling. Find out how good it feels to be debt-free. And by Days Inn. No matter where you travel, you'll always find a Days Inn hotel right down the lane. Back on the Siena College campus near Albany, New York, the state capital. It's the Empire State Open Arena Final. Jarrison Kent in the wild card. Steve Jaros saw his quest for the TOC end today. Let's learn more about him and Miller High Life. Get to know them.
Steve Jaros. My father used to take me to the bowling center when I was 10 years old, and I was really all around the game. My first job was in a bowling center, and I really decided that I wanted to be on the Pro Tour when a PBA regional had come to the center where I'd worked. I do travel with a laptop. I'll get online and check out what's going on with, actually it's the PBA website I go to a lot. I kind of get a kick out of reading all the stuff on the forum. For the longest time, I was kind of known for the guy that had the lowest game, but then now that I've had the 300, I've been able to say that I've got the lowest and the highest game on television, and not too many people can say that. I own a pro shop, and my wife was actually a customer of mine. I drilled many bowling balls for her and worked with her a little bit, and we just got to be really good friends. We got together, and just one thing kind of led to another. And given my background, if I wasn't bowling on tour, I'd probably still be in the bowling industry, just because I've always seemed to have grown up in it.
Steve Jaros, subject to this week's Miller High Life Get to Know Them. He fell to Doug Kent in the wild card match today. Kent has 2 majors under his belt, trying to get himself in great shape to play next week at the TOC. Tommy Delutz Jr. stands in his way. Another semifinal match is next from Albany.
Body pain? Oh, back pain? Now relief is just a shuffle away. Introducing new Bare Extra Strength Back and Body. It soothes aching muscles and sore backs with the trusted strength of Bare Aspirin to work effectively at the site of pain, plus a special pain relief enhancer. Nothing works better than Bare Back and Body. Not Advil, not Tylenol. Get moving again, pain-free. New Bare Back and Body.
Last year, 56 million people made time for bowling. Join the American Bowling Congress today. It's time to bowl.
Can I split now? People all over the world, join hands, start a love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train. People all over the world.
Attention inventors, call for your free inventors kit, 877-558-2000, or visit us on the web at inventorshelpline.com.
You'll receive free confidential forms and useful information describing the invention process. And when you call right now, you'll also receive a free brochure which tells you how to begin to develop your new idea. So get the ball rolling. Pick up your phone right now and call for your free inventor's kit.
Call today toll-free for your free inventor's kit, 877-558-2000, or visit our website at inventorshelpline.com.
Back in 1999 at the PBA Empire State Open, it was Parker Bowe III against Rick Steele-Smith. Parker took home the trophy. He would go on to win 5 tournaments in that season. Then in 2000, it was Pete Weber who would record his only victory of that year at the Parker Bowe III Empire State Open, taking on and taking out Brian Himmler in the championship match. Next year, it was the Parker Bowe III Empire State Open again, and who else to take home the title but Parker himself, beating out Chris Barnes in the championship. Then last season at the 2002 Empire State Open, a showdown between 2 PBA heavyweights, Robert Smith, who throws the ball so hard, and Jason Couch, the left-hander. Smith would come away the champion for his 3rd PBA title. We are coming to you from the Alumni Recreation Center, the Marcel Athletic Complex on the Siena College campus. Loudonville, New York, just a few miles from downtown Albany, the capital of New York State. Siena College basketball program made the NCAA tournament last year, won the play-in game against Alcorn State, and then lost to eventual champion Maryland in the NCAA. Randy Peterson joined by another semifinalist, Tommy Delutz Jr.
Tommy, your last win came in an arena finals at Mohegan Sun about a year ago in Connecticut, and you told us last night when you walked into that venue, you were scared to death. Here we go again, another arena finals. How do you feel?
A little more experience. I mean, that week I had the hometown crowd behind me. This week I live 3 hours south of Albany, Douglas 3 hours north, so now this is only this is a battle for Albany between Doug and I.
The all-New York match here.
Exactly. The crowd should be divided. It better be, so let's get it on.
Well, listen, we saw Chris Barnes take that big giant step to the right, really started playing the lanes a lot straighter, a lot different. What's your strategy?
Try to knock them all down on the first shot.
Very good. Thanks, Tommy. Good luck. Tommy Delutz Jr. looking for title number 3, Rhino.
He became the first wild card winner with a new format, Randy, with his championship. The Long Island event that was finished up at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut. Here he takes on Doug Kent, who won the wild card match with Jaros to get to the semis. Delutz starts his day on lane 3, 10 pin. Lives just a few minutes from Shea Stadium. The biggest Met fan I've ever met. I thought I was big.
On the planet.
It's locked in. We talked for a long time as he picked up his 10 pin about the Mets signing Tom Glavine this week to a free agent contract. He gave every bit of a breakdown you could ask for on Glavine, including personality. He's got it going. Doug Kent seeks title number 6. Doug Kent, we know, as being a big Buffalo Bills fan, who likes to collect baseball cards. We've got more football to tell you about. 3:30 Eastern on ABC. John Saunders, Terry Bowden have it for you. The Tostitos BCS Selection Show from Times Square Stadium in New York. They reveal which teams will battle for the national championship, plus all the other Bowl Championship Series matchups. And at 6 Eastern here on ESPN, Reese Davis, Trent Alberts, and Mark May. College Game Day Bowl Selection Special presented by Outback, 6 o'clock Eastern Time to get you fully up to date on ABC and ESPN. College football bowl season is here. Oh, yeah. So is Doug Kent.
It's really fun to watch Dougie when he gets it going, too. You know, he's playing the lanes a lot different than the other guys. Tommy's a little bit straighter than this, but Doug is floating his hand around the side of the ball, and you see that nice back-end reaction down the lane. Chris Barnes, much straighter than that. Tommy's probably looks early on to be in between the two guys.
Defeated our Tim Chris. Working with so well in the ESPN production truck. In the round of 8 last night, Tim's wife and little daughter were rooting him on. Just fell one step shy.
Tommy using a real strong reactive ball. And from what I've been told, it's his favorite bowling ball.
Surprised there's not a Mets logo on it. He's bowled very well in arena finals. Incredible win percentage. Looking for a double. He's got it.
Well, that ball just kind of stopped right in front of the headpin and entered the pocket dead flush. But watch Tommy Delutz. Starts with the ball up high, gets his ball into the swing with a nice free flow gravity type of swing, and then watch this. Right at the target.
Did you get a feel, Randy, for layout changes with the players having been on the wood compared to synthetic today?
Yeah, they went to stuff that's a little rollier because the lanes are playing a little bit tighter, a little less friction because the surface is so clean.
Nice look at how the surface is playing in the oil pattern perfectly from our crew. And a perfect shot from Kent.
Here's our oil pattern right here. You can see these little specks down the lane. That's the bowling ball tracking that oil down the lane. The more the lanes dry up, the further left the players move. Dougie really likes the right lane.
Looking for a 4-bagger to begin this semifinal match. And a 20-pin lead. Got it.
This guy's all about confidence, and last week he sure gained a lot. Exactly what you want to do to an opponent that hasn't bowled a game in on television. You get on him immediately. Out of the gate with 4 in a row, put all the pressure on Tommy Delutz Jr.
In his second USA TV appearance, strikes on lane 4. He lost to Patrick Huey Jr. October 30th in Kansas City, 226 to 185. Patrick eventually won that event.
Similar line to Doug Kent. You see Tommy rotating around the ball a little bit. This guy's become a great player out on our tour. He makes the cut just about week in and week out. Has almost all of his matches are phenomenal when he gets into the match play portion of the tournament. Patrick Allen, he had a great 6-game match. He bowled Tony Reyes in a match we talked about where Tommy averaged about 240.
Seeks a 4-bagger, 10-pin. That would have evened the score. He could have struck on lane 3.
Watch the 6-pin, second to the right. Almost like he knew it. And a lot of times when a player gets the ball a little bit left of target and there's some hold down the lane, that makes the ball go ring 10. Although that shot to me looked like it was pretty good.
Kent searches for a 5-bagger to begin the match. Strike here, and he's got a 21-pin lead. Hearing a lot of Doug E chants. That's because he's got about 35 family and friends who made the drive 2+ hours from Newark, New York, and the Central New York region of our state. That comes in high, almost crossing all the way over for a 6-pin count.
You hear Doug, you said he grabbed that one at the bottom. What happens when you grab a bowling ball at the bottom of the swing, it makes the ball start left and then go further left.
This is a real fun spur to shoot at.
Yeah, and the reason why this spare has been so tough is if you get the ball, you got to get the ball hooking into this to get the back pin. But if you get it too far to the right, there's oil over here. Ball won't hook back, won't make it.
Fifth frame.
Look out.
Covers.
Now the ball is going to go in between the 3-6, but the hook is what covers the 9-pin. 6-pin goes into the 10. Remember I told you the outside part of the lane is oily. That's one of the toughest spares we have on the PBA tour. In fact, the guys joke about it a lot. When you make the 3, 6, 9, 10, it's like throwing 2 in a row. 2 strikes in a row.
On lane 3. Oh, avoids the 7-10. Late messenger just in front of the 10-pin.
But it was a much better shot. This one he didn't grab. Ball behaves itself down the lane and he almost gets 8.
Works on a max of 265. Picks up the mark. Came in as a wild card after losing in the round of 8. So far, there have been 3 champions as wild cards in the PBA Tour. One of them is Tommy Delutz Jr., who did it last year in Unclesville, Connecticut, the Mohegan Sun Arena. Doug Kent trying to make new history today in Albany.
I don't care who your daddy is. I don't care what the last coach promised you. Now we're going to work.
He turned boys
Well, that's how it's done.
into players.
You damn near killed my friend. He ain't quitting.
He turned players
You want the fame without the sweat.
into champions.
Not in this team.
Tom Berenger as Paul Bear Bryant, the Junction Boys. Saturday at 9 p.m. on ESPN.
You know, I heard good things from other people about them, and I went down probably about 2.5 years ago and met Bob and Paul, and I thought it was a You know, they sounded really professional, knew what they're doing, so we tried a couple small things on my truck. I was really happy with everything they did, so we just kept going with it. And they're probably about the best around I've seen. And, you know, it's a lot of years I've been building trucks and cars, and really professional guys, and they do a great job.
Discovery Channel Store has an entire universe of one-of-a-kind gifts for the whole family. Presents for kids, to kids at heart. Even for those who've been perfect beasts all year. There's nothing like the gift of Discovery. As a valuable Comcast customer, you'll enjoy a 15% discount on purchases in-store and online. Just bring in your Comcast statement or enter code THANKS online.
We started our event at the Bowlers Club in Latham, New York, with 145 of the world's best. 48 combined titles, 4 majors, heading into our TV show today, 35, which belong to Walter Ray Williams Jr. He's been knocked out by Chris Barnes. Hey, Brian, Randy Peterson, our entire crew. Randy, time now for this week's Dexter Approach.
Take a look here at Tommy Delutz's game. What a beautiful swing. Starts with the ball a little bit higher than most. Short backswing, but this is what I love. Look at this. That's the fall through going directly to the target, and look at that open hand. Now here's the drift left with the slide foot going back in here to fill in. Now the thing about this week was we went from wood approaches to synthetics, changes that heel and that sole to combat any surface he's sliding on. He does not like to slide, Dave.
So far he's made a pretty good adjustment. Tommy Delutz Jr. subject to this week's Dexter Approach. Works on a spare. 6th frame. Oh, 10 in the pin.
You know, I think the other thing that's really impressed me about Tommy Delutz is that he's learned when to whoop it up and when not to control his emotions. He knows that this game wasn't over in the 3rd or 4th frame, even though Doug started with a front 4. Did you see his strike percentage? A little bit higher in the tournament than it was all season long. But see, he's keeping his emotions intact. He didn't let what Doug Kent did early on affect him mentally.
Strike here's got a 4-point lead. There it is.
See how low-key he is, Dave? He's just kind of keeping everything under control. And then when it comes down to the 9th and 10th frame and he needs one, you're going to watch him erupt. He looks really, really comfortable. Got his wits about him. He's nice and in control. Nicely in control.
Comes in high.
This lane is going crazy here.
Well, that ball started hooking as soon as it hit the lane. A lot easier than 3, 6, 9, 10, obviously.
Doug Kent participates next week in the TOC. Who will take it home? Will it be the 87 champion Pete Weber bowled very well this week in Albany? Or perhaps the 2000 champ Jason Couch, the left-hander, the only player to win it back-to-back. Some of the PBA's best have never won the Tournament of Champions, including Walter Ray Williams Jr. He'll be in action again, as will Brian Voss, next Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 on the West Coast, on ESPN. Strike for Kent.
He's locked in on the left lane. That's probably why he chose to finish on that lane. I've never won the TSC. I finished.
And you're in after your Pepsi Open Championship.
Thank you. I did finish 3rd once.
Looks for a triple. Tommy Delutz Jr. from Queens, New York City. 16-pin lead. Got it. Special thanks go out to Carol Judge, proprietor of the Bowlers Club in Latham, New York. Just about a 10-minute drive from where we are on the Siena College campus in Loudonville. Great host, Carol and her staff. Really enthusiastic crowd in the matches we saw yesterday, the 16s and the 8s.
You know, and they really appreciate us coming here. Carol Judge and her crew they do a great job. And the thing that really impresses me is that the fans here in Albany are very well-educated fans. They know a lot about bowling.
Helped fill up our arena today at Siena. 4-pin.
All right. Ball drifts just a pinch high. Tommy's doing what he needs to do. He's keeping the ball in play, hitting the pocket. Remember, under the lights, the heat, the lanes start to heat up, that oil starts to break down, players are going to start moving left. This week's pattern was 43 feet long from foul line towards the pins. Next week, the Tournament of Champions Day, Brian, 50 feet of oil. We've never bowled on it before.
And the synthetic via surface. Same setup next week, the Mohegan Sun, Uncasville, Connecticut. The first major of the season.
Doug can strike out for 253 and shut out Tommy Delutz. It's all going to be predicated on what he does on this lane.
Proper adjustments on lane 4.
Now the last two shots on this lane both went right through the face. The obvious move is left. Perfect move, and that ball just flushes the 1-3 pocket. Now, 2 strikes in the 10th frame and 6 pins. Doug Kent will face Chris Barnes in the final.
That's what he needs. And for another. There's one.
That puts him in the 240s. And that's going to force Tommy Delutz to at least double. The next one and 6. It's going to be a rematch of the match we saw last week against Chris Barnes and Doug Kent, which Doug won and advanced to the television finals.
One time. Last week, Traber and Duke in a great final. Sudden death roll-off, first we've had on TV in the history of the PBA. And a dramatic then. This is high drama now for Kent. 7 wiggles, but won't go down.
Not a bad shot at all. This ball gets into the light zone, the swish zone. And on these via pins, that usually strikes. Watch Tommy Delutz's eyes get really big. Okay, I've got a chance. I've got life.
A double and a 5-pin count, and Delutz is in business. Picks up a 7. And a 242 for Doug Kent. Had a chance to shut out Delutz if he had struck there and gotten a nice count. However, daylight for Tommy. Has a championship, a 4-1 record in arena play, loves the setting, responds.
And absolutely no emotion like we talked about. He's keeping it under control. You know, what's amazing is the last time we bowled on the B pattern, it was Tommy's first check he's missed since we've gone to the new format, which was in Memphis. He's 1 strike and 5 pins away from bowling for the title on the same pattern.
Strike and 5 to win. That event in Memphis in October, he finished 86th. This time, pattern B has gone well for him. How well? 10 pin.
Boy, that looked like a pretty good shot. You heard Tommy yell. He thought, there's Doug Kent. You know, he thought that was going to strike.
Great match.
Doug Kent has won. He'll face Chris Barnes in the championship match. Threw a good ball. He knew it. Really thought he had what he needed on lane 4. Great run for Delutz Jr. Will end here in Albany in the semifinals. Doug Kent of Newark, New York with a huge cheering section. Takes on Barnes for the championship next.
Banquet presents Do the Math.
Don't forget, quiz tomorrow. I may ask my students to find the value of X, but at the end of the day, when it's time to feed my family, I'm looking for value of a different kind. And Banquet always comes through. Take their original chicken patties. Now there's an extra patty in every box. That's 20% more of that delicious Banquet chicken for the same great Banquet price as before. And the kids love them.
Thanks, Mom.
Hey, you do the math.
For good food at a great value, you can always bank on Banquet.
Attention all smokers. Now you can kick the habit in just 7 days. That's right, you can quit smoking easily in only 7 days guaranteed. Introducing the all-natural Smoke Away system, the herbal stop smoking program that works to help completely stamp out your nicotine cravings in just 1 week. Fed up with expensive patches, prescriptions, and gums that often don't work? For less than the price of all of them, you can stop smoking in 7 days guaranteed with Smoke Away.
I like the fact that Smoke Away is all natural, and it really works.
I did Smoke Away for 3 days, and I've been smoke-free ever since.
Smoke Away has added years to my life. I know now I can enjoy my kids growing up and their kids growing up.
Smoke Away's unique combination of all natural herbal ingredients work to completely and naturally eliminate your body's craving for nicotine without side effects. Pick up the phone and order your Smoke Away system now.
To order Smoke Away, call 1-800-267-0374. That's 1-800-267-0374. Call now.
So if I ran an online trading company, here's the way it would work. You'd get your information, real-time data, streaming news, all that stuff. You'd make your trade, you pay the fee, a standard fee. No order handling fees or share limitations. Now, is that naive? I don't think so.
Are you getting your share of straightforward pricing? At Ameritrade, every online equity trade is $10.99, including stop and limit orders. No handling fees, no share limits, no gimmicks. Ameritrade. What's your share? Open an account today at Ameritrade.com and get 25 commission-free internet equity trades.
8 titles in the careers of Doug Kent and Chris Barnes combined. One will come away a champion today, leading up to the TOC next week. Don't forget, tonight on ESPN, the NFL continues the push toward the playoffs. The Vikes and Randy Moss go to Lambeau Field in the frozen tundra to take on Brett Favre, the MVP candidate of the NFL this year. He plays so well when it's cold, and it's going to be in the 30s tonight in Green Bay. Welcome back, everyone. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, our entire crew. Great crowd and emotional setting here today in Albany. So 2 bowlers head-to-head who have been so good all year but haven't won so far on tour this season. Who comes out with a victory in your opinion today?
Well, I never like to root against anybody, but I think after the move that Chris Barnes made in his match, that big giant step, 15 boards right with his speed, 8 boards with his target, piping it, I like his action.
So big adjustment. A lot of confidence for Chris Barnes as well heading into this championship round. Let's look at the championship recap now, right?
Okay. Doug, you can't hear the first match. He's going around it. You see him waving that ball to get to the pocket. Defeating Steve Jaros. Semifinal number 1. There's that big move. That ball's just a beeline to the 1-3. Semifinal number 2. Tommy Delutz needs this hit to advance. That ball comes in just a shade light, leaving the weak 10. And Doug knows that he just got a huge break there.
That's our championship recap. Sigh of relief for Doug Kent as he's able to take that victory over Tommy Delutz Jr. And now he's set for the championship match head-to-head with Chris Barnes.
Interest on our cards used to be 21 to 23%.
They were impossible to pay down. I couldn't keep up with my payments anymore. Cambridge lowered my monthly payments so that I'm able to manage it.
Cambridge Credit Counseling is a non-profit service that work with you and your creditors to reduce your monthly payments.
Before Cambridge, it would have taken me 15 to 20 years to get out of debt. With Cambridge, I'll be debt-free in 4.5 to 5 years.
Give Cambridge Credit Counseling a call. Find out how good it feels to be debt-free.
Banquet presents Do the Math.
Don't forget, quiz tomorrow. I may ask my students to find the value of X, but at the end of the day, when it's time to feed my family, I'm looking for value of a different kind. And Banquet always comes through. Take their original chicken patties. Now there's an extra patty in every box. That's 20% more of that delicious Banquet chicken for the same great Banquet price as before. And the kids love them.
Thanks, Mom.
Hey, you do the math.
For good food at a great value, you can always bank on Banquet.
For tough jobs around the house, reach for the tool set more mechanics come home to.
Gear Ratchet.
Gear Ratchet, the world's most flexible ratchet set, delivers the added speed, torque, and strength of a professional set. Gear Ratchet's innovative through-hole socket design makes reaching nuts on long bolts easy. Even worn, rusty fasteners are no match for Gear Force technology. And Gear Ratchet works with any 1/4-inch or 3/8-inch drive socket. Plus, the dual-position extension lets you reel in those hard-to-reach fasteners. Gear Ratchet, the world's most flexible ratchet set, is available through this special television offer in the complete 71-piece set for only $49.99 or this handy 21-piece version for just $29.99. Get one for the house and car and one for the boat. Call 1-800-762-3048, go online, or stop by any participating Sears store. Gear Ratchet, get it done fast, get it done right the first time. Call now.
Baptisms take place in water. The head is gently cradled. The body immersed. It just so happens that sometimes that water is frozen.
Great observation. Last week at the Cambridge Credit Classic in Syosset, Long Island, it was Norm Duke taking on Dave Traber in the championship match. Was it ever dramatic? Duke would beat Traber in a 3-ball roll-off, take home an emotional 20th PBA title, and get into the winner's circle for the first time this year. He's headed back to the Tournament of Champions in Connecticut. Big crowd on hand in Albany, and we're set for the championship round of the Empire State Open. Chris Barnes, Doug Kent with us outside the lanes. Randy, Chris talked a few moments ago about the big adjustment you made, especially on lane 4 with your path to the pocket. What'd you do, and what's the plan for the final?
Well, I moved about 15 right and took a ball that rolled more and got my hands softer, but in between the two matches, they changed again. So I'm not sure if I'm going to loft it or if I'm going to have to move left off of that. But Doug's putting up some big numbers, so I'm going to figure it out fast.
You've bowled so well all year. You're leading just about every category except the victory. Can you go one more step, as you talked about with us all year long?
Well, we'll find out here in a little bit.
All right, Doug, your confidence level now, looking for the first win since the World Championship. A lot of fans are here, a lot of fans and family and friends. Has that helped you with your confidence?
Oh, absolutely. You know, speaking of that, our match against Chris here, we've bowled each other twice in the last 2 weeks, and we're 1-1, so tonight's a rubber match.
And the synthetic lanes, how are they playing for you today?
Playing a little different than they did all week, a little slicker, but I've got to make the right adjustments. I think I'm in good shape here.
They have matched up, Randy, once before. Indy in a different format, though, eventually won by Doug Kent.
Yeah, these two guys had a great match last week. And now here's the two different lines that Chris Barnes is playing. Got the 4th arrow early on in that first game. Now watch this. Here's what he's talking about, that 15 right. Target about 8 right. Backs his hand out of it. Nice, straight, and direct. In practice, it looked a little suspect. We'll see what he's going to do. Now, remember, we talked about the loft. When we watched him in practice, my statistician, Paul Kaler, said, Randy, everything he's throwing is going high. Well, you know what? 2 ways to combat that. Either throw it harder or loft it. And again, Chris Barnes, being as good as he is, he has all the tools. He can do it all.
Great record, Doug Kent, head-to-head with Chris Barnes.
And Dave Ryan, here comes a completely different line. Here's the big inside out. Inside out and rotating his hand around the side versus loft and a soft hand straight up the back.
Didn't play in Philly a couple of weeks ago because so frustrated by a poor outing at the Banquet Classic, Grand Rapids, the week prior, so took the week off and went home to work on his swing, work on the delivery, work on the layout, everything really to revamp since then 2 TV shows and a possible championship. That's a turnaround.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
There's Chrissy, Doug's girlfriend, and
that's butter.
Yes.
That's sweet butter right there.
Yeah, we better go get him some butter to go with that sweet roll. But anyway, Chrissy, she's always there behind Doug, supporting him and helping him and what he's doing. But I'll tell you what, the biggest thing for him when he took that week off was the videotape.
Swing analysis. Really changed the arm swing quickly. Great record we saw for Barnes. in the arena setting, and a good start.
Well, late 7 there, which is a nice break. Something that Chris hasn't got a whole lot of in title matches is breaks, and here's one right here. This guy's got all the talent in the world, and in my opinion, the only guy that can even match Chris Barnes is Walter Ray, just due to the fact that Walter Ray wins so many times, and he's been on the show 5 times this year. He's won. The only thing this guy hasn't done is win. Yes, he has 3 titles, but he makes a boatload of TV shows.
Pucks the ball into the pocket. Gets that 5-hitter trip out. 3-25, hopes to increase the number today here in Albany. 5 strikes between the two to begin the championship match. Couldn't ask for a better start. Seeks a triple. Got it.
Watch this. Doug Kent, his ball is going to go out to about the 13th board, 14th board. It's the same spot that Chris Barnes' ball is using. They're using a similar break point down the lane, just going at it from 2 different angles.
Blinks first. The strikes continue. Yes, they do. 4 in a row for Doug Kent. Perfect start for each. 7 combined strikes to begin the championship match. Chris Barnes and Doug Kent each seek their first title of the year. Looking to stay red hot with a TOC, the first major next week.
Biography of the Year 2002. Premieres Monday at 8/7 Central on A&E.
Hi, this is Al Lucchino at Harley-Davidson of Danbury. We've been serving our customers for over 8 years at our location on Federal Road. It's been a great ride so far, but in our quest to be the finest Harley-Davidson dealer anywhere, we're tearing down our headquarters so we can build the most incredible motorcycle dealership that you or anyone else has ever seen. In the meantime, we've had to temporarily relocate, and for now you can find us at 9 South Street in Danbury. At any location, we're here to make your motorcycle dreams come true, so come in today and see what freedom feels like.
You know, I heard good things from other people about them, and I went down probably about 2.5 years ago and met Bob and Paul, and I thought it was they sounded really professional, knew what they're doing, so we tried a couple small things on my truck. I was really happy with everything they did, so we just kept going with it, and they're probably about the best around I've seen, and it's a lot of years I've been building trucks and cars, and really professional guys, and they do a great job.
Doug Kent and Chris Barnes are both headed to next week's TOC, Tournament of Champions, a 32-man field, the last 26 tour winners, and 3 senior tour champs, 3 regional champs. Who's going to take it home this year? Maybe the 87 champion Pete Weber, or the left-hander, 2000 champion Jason Couch, the only player to win back-to-back. He bowled very well this week in Greater Albany. Some of the PBA's best have never won the TOC, including Walter Ray Williams Jr. He and Brian Voss go for it next weekend. $100,000 on the line at the TOC, double the tour points, and the prestige of winning a major championship. Big money and prestige on the line today as well. Perfect start for each. Strike percentages for each so far today and throughout the tourney in Albany.
We talked about at the top of the show that the synthetic lane surface being much smoother, the scores would be higher.
Oh, 7-pin.
Wow. Solid 7. Terrible break. This ball's dead flush in the pocket. Because of that speed, that velocity, that those pins start to get airborne. Doug Kent's speed's softer. He's got more axis rotation, more side spin. That keeps the pins lower.
Bit of a drama on the way to the 7-pin there, flirting with the channel. Kent, the great start, 4-backer, and now an 11-pin lead. Fifth frame for Chris Barnes. 10-pin.
Well, that ball just comes in a little bit light. That's the problems that you face when you're throwing it real hard. I want you to watch what makes this guy so good. Now look at that. Look at the starting position. Your hand's in a much more relaxed spot on the side than it is under. When he gets to the top of the swing, look at the cup position of that wrist.
Picks up his 10-pin. Return to the live coverage, and now it's Kent. There's so many family and friends here. We talked with Doug about that a moment ago. He had a stack of tickets in the media room last night for all of his folks coming out to watch. Making the quick drive due east on the New York State Thruway. 5-bagger, 10-pin. Would have given him a 22-pin lead.
Boy, and his nickname is Fresh, or Dougie Fresh, and that sure was a pretty fresh shot he threw there. That would have given him 5 in a row. Wow. Just the nasty old ugly ring and 10.
Remember, the top 8-point finishers at the end of the tour season will get a bye right into the round of 16. Taylor, Michigan, the World Championships, Walter Ray Williams Jr. These are updated numbers based on what he has done today, losing the semifinals. Chris Barnes has at least 20,000 pins. Right back in front and take over the tour points lead. Perhaps 25,000 if you can win the match. 10-pin.
Okay. And, you know, we talk about lanes breaking down. You don't have to wait until the end of the game or expect the breakdown to come at the end of the game. It happens shot to shot. It happens in the middle of the game. That ball drifts high. Trips out the 4-7, only leaving the 10-pin. Doug's going to make an adjustment on that lane the next time he bowls on the left lane, lane 3. He's going to move his feet and his target left.
Back to Barnes, who's been so consistent all year long.
Chris Barnes using a high load particle bowling ball. What that means is that ball is designed to roll, roll, roll.
Point leader award in the year 2000. George Young, high average award that year. Rookie of the year in 1998.
And he's like,
waves to the crowd a bit.
He's like, where's the love? Come on, I just flushed 10 in the pit.
Incredible statistical output for Barnes this season.
You can see Chris Barnes is leading the tour in every offensive category, including nose hair. Just kidding. But he is, if not the most dominant player. It's between him and Walter Ray.
But only one of the two has a chance for a championship on this day. It's the native of Kansas, Chris Barnes.
Needs help.
Was hoping, and it came in light.
Yeah. And the one thing you can't do when you're throwing it that straight is you can't leak it to the right. Got to keep the ball on line. And this is the bucket. The 2-4-5-8. 2 rules of thumb here. Remember, we saw in our earlier matches, guys converted to 2-8, where you can throw it straight and hard. Try to flush the 2-pin straight back. The ball will take the 5 out. 2 will go into the 4. The ball will get the 8. Look out.
Open. 5-pin standing for Barnes.
Well, this ball was pulled, and it missed the spare to the left. And if you go back and you watch some of the spare shooting that Chris did earlier, he was a little bit towards the left side of everything he shot at. He barely made the 10-pin on the left side. When he shot that solid 7, he was left of that pin.
Big opening now for Doug Kent. 268 the max score. Oh, 4-pin late trip.
The big break here. This ball's going to drift a little high, and the trip 4. What a break. Bowler's best friend. When you start tripping 4s and smacking that 10 around, you know you got the good touch going. Doug Kent can take a 22-pin lead, or 32-pin lead, excuse me, with a strike.
Looks for a double. 8th frame. Talks to himself right up to the approach. They're chanting, Dougie, Dougie. And with a double, he's got a 32-pin lead on Chris Barnes. Whose max has shrunk to 236. Doesn't get the break on the 4.
You know, you could see that Chris was a little uncomfortable in practice. Prior to this match, his reaction didn't look as good as it did in his first semifinal match, throwing that ball straight and hard. Then he started lofting it. It's just not quite, it's not the look that he had in that first game. Doug Kent's look has stayed the same. All he's doing is chasing the yellow line left.
We're coming to you from Siena College, the campus in Loudonville, New York. Very quick drive to the capital of New York State, downtown Albany. With Ryan Randy Peterson, our entire ESPN PBA crew with you. Steel Timber Sports comes your way next. Right now, Chris Barnes in a heap of trouble. Championship match with Doug Kent. Oh! Scout cross lane, skips the deck and does not trip the 10.
That was one of the fastest messengers you'll ever see.
He can't believe it.
Well, right now, for the spare here, Chris is maxed out at 215. Doug Kent's going at a 238 pace. If Doug Kent fills the 9th or 10th with reasonable count, he's going to win.
Hoping to avoid his 4th runner-up finish.
When I really thought that Chris was going to win this week. I really did. And nothing against Doug Kent. Everybody knows how I feel about Doug. He's tremendous. I just thought this was going to be Chris's time. Doug Kent would have none of that. Strike here. It's all but over.
Looks for a trip. 9th frame. Gets it! Overflow crowd at Siena College loves it.
It's amazing. You watch video and you see something wrong in 2 minutes, and it translates into over $50,000 in the last 2 weeks for you.
That was a valuable video session. That's a strike. That's a championship for Doug Kent. Second place again for Chris Barnes. He'll win his 6th career title today. And his family and friends who have made the drive. Well worth it from Newark, New York. There'll be a big party in that upstate town tonight.
And just a credit to Doug's ability to be able to take a week off, figure out what's wrong in his game, and fix it on his own.
Yeah.
He said he's never had a coach. He coaches himself, a student of the game. He knows what wins.
To win today.
Yeah, well, I don't want him to win today, Doug. I'm a Dolphin fan.
His girlfriend, Chrissy Beamish.
Yeah? Doesn't get any better than that.
Wins for the first time since the World Championships last season in Toledo, Ohio.
Oh, well.
71st at the Banquet Classic in Grand Rapids, beside himself, completely exasperated with his performance. And as we've talked about all day, Barnes strikes, but it won't matter. Great week for Barnes wraps up. It all paid off for Doug Kent. He is a champion again. Takes the 2002 Empire State Open here in Albany.
Nervous about foot odor and wetness? Get Odor Eaters insoles and kick the problem. Odor Eaters gives lasting comfort and durability as it kicks out heavy-duty odor and sweat.
Now put Odor Eaters and kick foot odor and wetness out.
You don't need to be a sanitation engineer to know garbage when you see it. Looks like you'll be folding faster than the Argentine army in '82. Oh, well. Buck up, soldier. The night is young. Lucky for you, there's also a light way to live. The high life.
Body pain? Back pain? Now relief is just a shuffle away. Introducing new Bare Extra Strength Back and Body. It soothes aching muscles and sore backs with the trusted strength of Bare aspirin to work effectively at the site of pain, plus a special pain relief enhancer. Nothing works better than Bare Back and Body. Not Advil, not Tylenol. Get moving again, pain-free. New Bare Back and Body.
May our travels bring you serenity. Satisfaction. Like when you book ahead, ask for the daylight savings rate and save 25% on your days in room. It's like getting the bathroom free. All you need is the inspiration to book now.
This holiday season,
What's the matter? Cat got your... Yeah!
One Planet has more laughs,
Whoa!
more thrills,
Whoa!
and more fun than all the rest.
Jeez, that wasn't so tough.
Disney's Treasure Planet. Rated PG, now playing.
Today's exclusive live coverage of the PBA Empire State Open is brought to you by Odor Eaters. Put Odor Eaters in, kick foot odor and wetness out. By Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly, this is the High Life. And by Bare Aspirin. Take it for pain, take it for life. Since the new format, fourth ever wild card winner is Doug Kent. And twice Chris Barnes has been the victim, head-to-head, to a wild card winner. Congrats to Doug Kent. He takes the championship. Next year on ESPN, the Steel Timber Sports Series. Join us next week, the PBA Tournament of Champions from Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Now for the entire crew, my partner Randy Peterson. It's Dave Ryan saying so long from suburban Albany, New York. Congratulations to Doug Kent of Newark, New York. He's a champion today.
We are back in Memphis at the Ducks Unlimited Great Outdoors Festival for the 2002 season of the Steel Timber Sports Series. I'm Tommy